Okay, so I want to talk a little bit more about entries. So say you have a matrix A, and let's say it's a 2 by 2 matrix. Well, usually what they'll do to identify the entries is if the matrix is labeled with a capital A, they'll use a lowercase a to represent the entries. Now, I'm going to have 4 entries here because I said it would be 2 by 2. What they do is they identify the entry by the row and the column. So it would be A sub 1, 1. Now, that's not an 11. A sub 1, 1 means the entry in first row, first column. And then the next one over here would be A sub 1, 2. First row, second column. And then you'd have A, now we're in the second row, first column, and A, second row, second column. And that's how you would identify the elements or the entries for that matrix. So if they say, hey, you know, what's in the first row, first column, or A sub 1, 1, that's what they're talking about. Now, if you had a matrix B, let's say you had B1, 1, B1, 2, B1, 3, so that would, 1, 3, that would be the first row, and then say you had a second row, it would be identified this way, like that. This would be 2 rows by 3 columns, and then you could identify each of the elements. Notice that you have a lowercase b representing the entries for the B matrix. Okay, so this was a 2 by 2 matrix, and the other one was a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay, so now they want to talk a little bit about that with this example. They give us a matrix. It's a 3 by 3. They can ask you how many rows, how many columns. In fact, it says, what are the dimensions of the matrix? That's part A. So that you would say it's a 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, those are the dimensions. Or you could write out there are 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay, now what are the entries at A3, 1? So what is A3, 1? What element is in the third row, first column? So you have to go to the third row, 1, 2, 3, first column, and so that's going to equal 3. And then it says, what about A sub 2, 2? Second row, second column. So second row, second column, that would equal 4. So once you get the hang of it, it's not too hard to do, but it's just a matter of getting used to matrices and a little bit of the terminology and stuff, the way they write things. This could be new for you. You may never have studied matrices before. And so it's a little introduction we're going to do in this section, and then we're going to do a little more with matrices in 7.7. And that's all we're going to have time for this semester with matrices. But it's a wonderful area of study. And one more thing on your elements, your entries. So when we have a matrix, the dimensions are, usually they'll say I by J. And then elements are A, I, J, meaning, you know, whatever row and column it's based on. Okay? So I just wanted to, actually, they don't write it that way. They say M and J, M and N. They say A is an M by N matrix. But this represents some entry in there. Okay. I probably said too much.